You know, calm, real simple,
Congrats,
simple.
dude.
Appreciate it.
It's pretty nuts.
I know, right? Ugh, yo, time flies. Feels like, I'm telling you, bro, like, every time I think about high school, it only feels like it was like 2 or 3 years ago. And then it's like, I'm old.
Dude, and it
I
does
don't know.
creep up on you, doesn't it?
Right?
Man, I was thinking about it. I was like, fuck. We were down at the track today, like filming a little something. And I was like, man, it flies by. Hey, congrats.
Thanks.
Man, I'm so excited for you too.
Thanks.
Yeah, so, what do you call it? It's already going, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how you been, bro?
Dude, I've been
Everybody,
good.
this is Luke, you know? Like, first things first, let me just let you know, because, like, you inspired me to do a lot of, like, creative stuff. Like, it wasn't for you, bro, like, Jump Out wouldn't have been a thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I just want to say thank
No,
you
no,
for
no.
that.
You have to give yourself a lot of credit for that, dude. Like you put all that together. Like
That shit was stressful, no cap.
yeah, that was a good ass time, dude. Man, I was like trying to remember all the things that you and I have like kind of had our hands in, you know.
Yeah,
And that was one of my favorites for sure.
that shit was crazy. Yeah.
I remember it was definitely a lot of logistics and stuff going down.
Bro, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, a lot of things went wrong, and then, like, it was a lot of problem solving logistics. That's the
But dude, you learn from that, right? Like I
exactly.
think it's easier to learn when you're actually out there doing it.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Thank God for my dad. I had the space to just experiment with a bunch of stuff,
totally.
just learn and fail. But let's get into the questions.
Yes, let's hear it.
So first things first, you already know the podcast is for creative people,
Right.
just trying to get them over their humps, their roadblocks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that.
Wherever their career is.
Yeah.
So first thing first, I just want to know what like your creative process is like, cause like I don't know, bro. You always think of something you want to do and you just make it happen.
That's
So
like,
like, so what's the
oh,
process like? How do you even like come up with like hey, I want to do this, or like how does that even come about? You know what I'm saying? For you.
let's see. I want to choose my word because I figured this is kind of what we talk about, and I want to choose my words wisely
Gotcha.
because to me it seems like such a fucking struggle all the time to like just come up with something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's 95% of the struggle is just in my head,
Yeah.
just getting out of that.
Getting out
But
of it.
for me, it's kind of like there will be a point where something strikes me so hard that I'm like, I can't not do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like you can't ignore this. Yeah.
And
Exactly. What you're talking about.
sometimes the things that is like the scariest things, and I'm like, I'm really terrified of doing this.
So you gotta.
I have to do it.
Yeah.
So, in the way that, and this is a question actually, this is a good question for you too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, when you're thinking about something, creative, music, whatever, are you seeing it in like are you seeing visions of it like a picture of what you want, or are you thinking of it with words? Like maybe you're a musician, so maybe you're thinking words.
So it depends on the situation, because sometimes I take inspiration from different things. Sometimes I can be sitting there and I'll be like, oh, it would be cool if this was like this, and I'll see the vision of it happening in front of me. Then I'll be like, yo, no cap, this has to happen because I haven't seen this in real life before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta make it true. For example, like for Jump Out, right? I remember you brought all these people just came out to our show. I'm like, yo, this is so cool. Like, Luke brought all these people just to come like see like, all these kids like art and all these creators art like in a gallery. And it's mad simple. I'm not saying it's simple
No, yeah,
because he went through a lot, but like, like he went through his steps and he got people here just to experience. And I'm like, man, I'm struggling to get people to listen to my music. Like, no one's even listening to music out here. So I'm like, all right, bro, like, how do I get people to like do? I'm like, oh wait, I'm gonna have a gallery for music, but then I'm like, just do like a little music festival. So I just did my research and I went from there.
Totally.
But like, I just take inspiration from small things and then I change a component or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I go about my creative process. But that was mostly a visual aspect of it.
Right. Right. Because I'm very much the same way.
Yeah,
For me, I find inspiration in like little things all over the place.
definitely.
Like, you know, coming into the apartment, like you see little things, you're like, oh, dude, like, that makes sense. And like,
exactly.
but I feel like I don't see. Sometimes if a vision's really strong, I'll see the image of it in my head.
Yeah,
But mostly, I'm like writing. Like I have to write it out.
that makes sense.
So if like a video idea comes up, I have to write it down. And like me
Yeah.
reading it
No, I can understand that.
is what, and I think that comes from the fact that I just have like the running thoughts all the time.
Yeah.
So it's words. I'm like describing the vision to myself
Exactly.
rather than seeing it. And that's always a question I have for creative friends. Because I'm like, how do they do
So
it?
yeah, I understand what you mean. Cause like,
Yeah.
once you write it down, that's when it kind of becomes permanent or physical.
Right.
So like me, I'll write down and then I'll probably end up branching off into a bunch of other random thoughts that come up with whatever sub thoughts I have for
Right.
the main thing. So like, I guess I could say you could say like mind mapping, like bubbles or something. So you have the main thing like, oh, I want to start a concert. It's like, oh, you know, I want this, and this artist, and maybe I'll have a stage that looks
Right.
like this and da da da. And then I'm trying to make it as grandiose as possible. And then I'll worry about like budget and stuff later, and then I'll cut down after the fact.
Right.
But like, I try to get as close to like the vision I see in my head 1st, and then I'll make cuts after the fact.
Yeah.
Just because I want to, you gotta get to as close to the vision as possible to get the whole feel for the
Right.
thing. But that's how I normally go about it. So yeah.
So what was the inspiration for doing this?
For doing this?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Let me see. So me, I had a problem. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to be consistent with making content, and I just can't stand it, bro.
Yeah.
I just can't do it, bro. Like,
Oh, it's difficult.
yeah, it's ass. I'm not gonna lie. And then AI, shout out to AI because AI has been helpful.
Yeah.
So like, I'll just take something long like this. It'll just come into clips.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. But what I was thinking, I was like, all right. I know. I understand like the market of like how people like receive how people are like to be marketed to is different now. So instead of just like I just want to hear Kyro's music, da 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 da. It's like I want to get to know Kyro as a person.
Totally.
So me, I like to help people out. So like I'm thinking like, all right, let me help these creators by bringing people on. You know, the
Talk about that.
Exactly. So I'm thinking like, all right, how can I help as much people as possible with their creative stuff? I'm like, we just bring a bunch of people to talk about how they get through. Because this is what I do on like YouTube. I just watch people talk about how they solve problems.
Right, exactly.
So I can solve my own problems. So I'm like, all right, I could just start doing that for other people. We just talk about whatever. A little bit of my personality gets out.
Yeah.
They get their information. So it's like a win-win for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But some people, like, this is so versatile. You can come to my podcast for whatever reason you want. You get something out of it, whether it's for me, whether it's for the information, whether it's, you know, inspiration, or whether you just want to end up being on the podcast later on, you know, because there are people who just hit me up and they just need a platform to advertise their stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like everyone wins at the end of the day, and it gives me content, gives them content. So it's just, I think it's just a content farm, but this is like a more efficient way of doing it. Not like in a way, not in the sense of where it's like in a resource way, but like also like creatively too, I guess you could say. But it would just made it easier to express myself in different ways that I wouldn't just be able to do during music. And so I think that's the inspiration for this whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I have a question about some of your creative stuff.
Yeah.
So you're really good at like bringing the community together. I want to know how you go about doing that. Like, how do you not just bring people like to your events, but like also like, because your events like kind of stick with people after effect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's also like every time you throw something, it's like, oh, Luke's doing a little thing, not a little thing. Luke's doing something, and like I want to be there. Like, how do you create this sense of community around all your work and your art and like what you're working towards? You know what I'm saying? How do you go about that?
This is one that I think about a lot too.
He's like, yeah.
Let me, if it's cool with you, I want to go back a little bit. After like a period of time where I was like going through the manic episode of creative, go back to the creative thing.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I get scared of something going on in life, and I feel like my way to combat that fear is to create.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll go through these manic periods where I'm creating a ton of work, whether it's good or bad, and just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I got you.
And so it was after one of these periods where I was kind of on a come down, and I sat there and thought to myself, I said, what was the moment when I was a kid that I felt connected to community and creativity?
I got you. Yeah.
What was like, was there even a moment that changed for me?
Mm-hmm.
And my goal is to try to figure that out, because it's not a question I can answer right now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like once I figure that out, I can unlock the creativity, like in a way that I can tap into it.
I understand.
Because like going from the manic thing, after like I'm still learning these things, like how to go over that. But coming out of like a time where I was posting every single day for a long time, content. I realized that I was creating out of that sense of fear. I was scared of something, and combating it was making something.
Yeah.
So I want to not create out of fear. I want to create out of passion or excited. And the only thing that really is like that for me and never changes is community.
Yeah.
And so I think because I like it so much, and I genuinely, that's what makes me want to create, is like getting people together.
Yeah. Fire, brother.
Thank you.
Like, simple but fire. I love that shit, by the way. Yeah.
So I think that, and I don't want to sound too, like, preachy, but
So however you need to.
I think that's why people enjoy it and come back, because they know that I love the community just as much as they love being part of it.
Definitely. Yeah. And the thing is, like, when you did the art show, I really saw that. Because, like, the music was cool, but I think the music was the only way I was able, not the only way, but it was one of the ways I'd be able to express the same sentiment.
Exactly.
So I really,
yeah.
I can understand what you're talking about through that.
Right, because I mean, it's not like, and for me, I think part of the reason why I'm so down on myself all the time is because what's most exciting for me is those ideas and like the things I try to convey and the community I try to make.
Yeah.
More than the photos I take or the videos I make or the art that I create.
Yeah.
Like that's just the catalyst for getting together with homies and hanging out and doing things. Exactly. So again, I don't know where that comes from, why I like that so much and why I feel like it's so important.
And see, the thing is, right, we're out of high school, like, no one has time to hang out with each other.
No.
So it's like,
I just want to hang out and, like, that's it.
No, life is simple. Like, sometimes I just want to hang out with my peoples and, experience cool stuff.
Right.
And sometimes you got to make the environment for that,
Right.
So, yeah, that's probably where the whole sense of community comes from.
Yeah.
What else would I kind of ask? So, going on to, like, more creative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you call yourself, like, more of a videographer, photographer, or you? Because me, I kind of see you as, like, mainly a creative director.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what are you like really passionate about when it comes to like creative stuff? Like, is it creating like visuals for people? Is it like sending, like, giving a message out to people? Like, what's like your calling, I guess you could say?
Well,
I know it's
that's all right. I think the reason why I respect you so much is because you're a musician.
Yeah.
And in my mind, music is the purest form of expression. Like I've talked about this so many times, and I wish I could be a musician, but I just don't have it in me.
Yo, I tried doing the video thing too.
See, so that's how it goes. Like you just pick what you're good at, and I don't know. That's a good one. I find myself like gravitating towards one.
Yeah.
Mostly video, because I think that's the best. Because like music, I feel like, is raw expression. Like you're giving lyrics, you're giving a beat, you're giving
Mhm.
music that expresses how you feel or how you have felt at a certain time. So for me, when I film a video and I get to be an observer in a situation, like whether it's a music video, I like get to be there and like experience that with you, or like where they're filming an event, I get to experience that.
I got you.
And my expression is the edit.
Yeah.
Because that's like I can change everything. I can like try to express that feeling that I felt in the moment at the thing. So I can express like how I felt shooting a music video. I can express how I felt, maybe prior or an idea that I've had.
Yeah.
So I think that's why video is like my
Yeah.
favorite medium.
I think video's so cool because like it expresses like music is like explicit in its expression, but like like video can like kind of cover the subtleties
Mhm.
of expression. So it's like, cause like let's say
Every Kendrick Lamar video
I
ever.
was just about to bring them up too.
I mean, every single Kendrick Lamar video,
Exactly, I was gonna say.
there's a million things that go over your head.
So like for example, we'll do the hard part 5, right?
Yes, yeah.
With the red background
Yes.
does the right?
And that was the deep fakes, right?
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So he's saying what he's saying. We hear that all the time. But like when you see the video and then you see people break down the video, everyone's like, oh yeah, he's speaking to the crowd, and then at one point he breaks the fourth wall and he's speaking to you, and then he's turning into all these different characters. There's so many subtleties
Yes.
and like subliminal messages in just the video alone that adds on to the music, but like that itself could be like its own medium at the same time. Like video just conveys so much
It's
at the
everything.
same time.
It's right.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Mhm.
Wish I could do it though. You got that one. I don't know.
We'll work on it.
Yo, look, I'm telling you, one time I tried to edit my. Matter of fact, bad idea, right? I did that music video myself.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that thing took like the long. I feel like it took like a whole calm week.
Yeah.
And it's still not like the level of quality I
Yeah.
want, but it took a calm week.
Yeah.
Just setting up the cameras. I'm like, I'm just keeping it in one spot because like I did one location just for my sanity. I made fake blood and everything for all this extra shit. It was crazy, but like, oh man, the editing and the color grading.
It took forever, I bet.
It did.
Yeah.
Probably won't do it.
Remember the Oz video?
Oh, what?
If you know, you know.
Yo, what? Yo, I remember you telling me like, yeah, we're gonna take these mirror and we're gonna do a thing. I'm like, what are you talking about?
It came out. I impressed myself by that.
You did cool, bro. You did great for that shit because I could not have done that myself. Word. And even Subnautica, like Subnautica to this day is still like one of my favorite videos.
Every time I drive by that spot where the sun was setting and you were, I'm like, that was so perfect. You got it really good right there.
Yo, I remember because we were just driving, you're like, hey.
Right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh snap.
And it was clean.
Like, it was just great.
I think the people need to see Desmond and Luke making new Cairo and Luke. We need like my new skills, your new skills. I think we need to really go after it.
What have you been working on recently?
I've been working on a few things. Yeah. The goal is to grow my own business, and so I've been doing that. I work usually for, like, technically I'm like a subcontractor right now for a couple different media companies. So they'll just like hire me on a day rate. I'll come out and shoot with them or shoot an event or whatever. Mostly commercial stuff. Nothing like super creative.
That makes sense.
But I'm not going to become a better video guy without taking videos. So like any time that I get paid to use a camera, I'm taking it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
No, I definitely understand that. So do you have like a team or is it mainly just you?
Yeah. It's I have like it's me on my own part, like, because I represent myself.
Yes.
but like I have a team in the sense that like I have a group of people who all like also own their own businesses,
Definitely.
and we all kind of like pull from each other when we need.
No, I can understand that.
Yeah.
So it's a collaborative like kind of
Definitely,
experience in
definitely.
that sense. But you represent yourself when it comes to the phone call. All that.
Right, like I'll take clients or like I feel like Manchester. There's a hole in Manchester's like video and creative side,
Yeah.
and so I'm trying to kind of cover that.
I feel like Manchester's for retired people.
It's on the come up. It's on the
It's
come up.
definitely on the come up. It just feels like it's too slow for me.
Yeah.
But you know,
What are you gonna do?
what are you gonna do?
I know.
Except change it, right?
Yeah. I know.
That's far though.
Yeah. I like another thing I think about a lot. I think too much maybe. Don't we all like creative?
Perfectionism
I think
is like,
yes.
yeah, the number one. For example, like I need to drop this out.
Yeah.
Like I just need to finish
Yes.
and drop it. Like everything's done. For some reason, I'm just sitting on it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not like I didn't even go back to check or listen to anything to see if anything else needs to get fixed. It just feels like a wrong time in my like heart, soul, but like
Right.
at the same time, it's not an excuse. It's just hesitation.
Right.
At the end of the day, I'm like, I don't know. I keep hearing this thing. It's like I think I heard this thing somewhere. It's like, oh, if you have like 80% of the knowledge, you need to do something. Anything past that is just hesitation.
Yeah.
Like you're just waiting.
100%.
And it's not gonna like benefit or anything. It's not gonna help like the process any better. So you just gotta do it. And I just gotta drop this.
I think that a hard pill that I recently had to swallow,
Yeah.
like a really hard one, was if you at all, it's hard to, if you at all are justifying anything, like if you hear that in your head, like, oh, well, I couldn't do this today because of this.
Yeah.
There are granted some,
Definitely.
but if you find that that's the thought process most of the time, you're not doing enough.
Definitely.
Like you're not living up to your potential, and that like kind of happened to me. Like I was in a situation where I was with some other people, and I was very humbled by how they were doing exactly what they wanted to do, and I heard the excuses coming from myself. You know what I mean? Oh, Luke, did you do this? Oh, well, this happened and this happened, and then mid sentence, I'm like, fuck, like.
If you really wanted to do it, you would have made it happen.
If I really wanted to do it, I could have made it happen. And so, but the problem is, those justifications and those like mental gymnastics sound so logical when they're in your head. They do. They sound logical. They sound like, oh yeah, well you know what? You're right. I did work, late today, so I deserve a little break. You're right. You're right. But you're also wrong. Like you could, if you really want to make it happen.
If I start it right now, I won't wake up on time.
Right. Oh, tomorrow. And you know what? You're right. But there's gonna come a point if that's all you think about, there's gonna come a point where you wake up and you're like, holy fuck. I never made it happen.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps me up at night.
And there's a point where it's too late too. That's another thing that's scary. Like I think I bounce between those two, like the most, like the excuses, and then hey, if you don't do it, it's too late. So it's like I feel like I'm condemned like 90% of the time.
But I have to say that too many people our age right now think that they're supposed to know everything. And I wish that someone would have told me, like when I was 21, like it's okay not to know. It's totally fine not to know because you're still young and you can still make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like, because that's the thing, is like, I meet a lot of people and they're like, they think they know exactly what they're supposed to be doing because like that's the expectation that's set on social media and like everywhere we see. But it's like, fuck, it's okay not to know. And if I open myself up to learn,
exactly,
that's where you improve.
Yeah, because lately, I've been getting comfortable with failing at
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Just because, like, the more losses you take, the more lessons you get. So, like, music, all that stuff, like, because I used to always, I'm not even say that. Like, lately, with my music, I've been thinking, like, I always go through a period where it's like, oh, yeah, I have my sound is perfect right now, da-da-da, da-da-da. I'm set. I'm gonna pull up next year.
Yeah.
And I always look back. I look back at myself. I'm like, there's always something to get better at. So like lately, I've been getting better at like songwriting and also even like writing scripts for like content and stuff. Like I've been practicing like copywriting, music writing, email writing, all that kind of stuff. So it's like it's funny because we went through that in school. I hated English
Oh my
class.
God, yeah, it's the worst.
English teachers were great. Hated English class, but like, yeah.
I don't know, dude. Yeah, and of course that's one thing too. I was like, damn, I kind of wish I took my education a little more seriously.
Like, Mama, they don't put it like that, man.
I know you don't. Well, like when you're young, you have so much ego and so much like, I could take on the world,
definitely,
which is great. Youthful ignorance.
Yeah.
And you kind of overlook some things, and that's totally fine. But yeah, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, I know, right? But I don't know that because the last episode I was talking with my parents. We were talking about
I love
college.
that episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about college, and they're like, because I left like third week at fucking MCC.
Yep.
They were like, my mom's like, you gotta tell your dad, right?
Fuck no, not me. You tell him.
Yo, he asked me, he's like, yo, like, how's college?
Yeah.
Like,
God.
yo, but like, later on we were talking about like how like I realized taught myself everything else I knew. So like,
right.
Sometimes like I don't know, like I guess like for us like that setting just wasn't for us to learn that kind of stuff. Like some people just need to learn in the fields doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And like, if you're really passionate about something, you'll go deeper into whatever you want to learn. But like, I don't know. Reading Charlotte's Web in class.
Yeah, not it for me. Man, I have to say, dude, like, one thing that always impressed me about you was like the human spirit. That's a good yes, because a lot of people lose that. A lot of people lose their spirit.
For real?
And yeah, like the thing. Okay, think about it. There was a statistic that said if you have 100%, 100 people,
yeah,
and 20 something year old people,
yeah,
you ask them what their dreams are, what they want to do in life. Most of them are going to have some great grandiose dream. They want to live. They want to do something special with their life. You ask them, 20 years down the line, 10 years down the line, only 5 of them will actually be doing what they want to do because they didn't lose their spirit. They didn't lose the thing that kept them going along the road of their dream.
I can definitely understand that. Yeah. Definitely.
It's tough. It's scary. It's tough. And every day I want to quit. But what is that going to do to me?
No, I think the one thing that keeps me going is like, bro, I don't know, because I'm living like the 9 to 5 life right now.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine me doing this for the rest of my life. So it's like 50 Cent said, get rich and die trying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, bro. I'm going to die either way. Either like being sick with myself, my soul's going to be dead, or like, I tried to get what I want to get and, I got close. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if I don't make it, as long as I'm working towards it, on the path, on the journey of doing it, that's more than good enough for me. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I'm doing the 9 to 5 right now too. And you just got to keep telling yourself it's not forever and keep working towards the other thing. Like my goal is to just use as much time on nights and weekends as I can to continue it. But and I don't want to also come across as like I have it figured out because I don't.
Because no one has it figured out. Otherwise, we won't be having this talk.
Exactly. It wasn't so easy, and there would be no reason for podcasts like this.
People would be watching if they had it figured out.
Right.
Sheesh.
Exactly.
Yeah, nah. It's not easy at all.
No.
But, like, that's the thing, too. Like, that's why you need, like, you really need, because I was talking about this with Dex on that episode.
Yeah.
It's really just the people you surround yourself with and, like, kind of like the community of like teamwork and just like everyone working towards like something bigger than themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
So like, even me bringing all these people onto this podcast, like, it's just like another small way of surrounding myself with people like working towards something.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
I think I think it's a great idea. That's boom. How do you create a community? You're creating a community right now.
You know, small, one step at a time, one brick at a time. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think was the moment when you were a kid that made you feel attached to creativity? Did you make music as a kid too?
You know what's crazy? I don't know where the video is.
Yeah.
But like, so let me start like.
Yes, yeah, I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
So way back then, right? My cousin, he would always watch music videos. Like he would watch cartoons, but he was watching music videos more than cartoons.
Right.
So I would see Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, like all these other rappers. They're just doing rapper stuff on TV. I'm like, yeah, rappers. And it was cool. Later on down in life, I want to start making like robots, and stuff like that. Then I wanted to go into space. But when I was like in elementary school, I saw my dad making like I used to see my dad like in like the dining room. He just had like a little music studio set up, right? I just watch him record. I'm like, yeah, dad's music's fire.
Yeah.
Now I'm old enough. I don't know what happened. It just caught up.
That stuck with you.
It just stuck with me.
Yeah.
Cause like I don't know. I was getting bad grades one time. You just the Xbox. What? Saved my life though. Now I'm not a bum.
Yeah, exactly.
He took that away, and then I was like, man, I'm not about to be bored for life. Like I can't have it. So I started getting to like 3D design, graphic design, and then he's like, nah, that's just like the video games you play. Stop doing that. I'm like, all right, bro. What am I supposed to do now? So then I started making beats.
Yeah.
And that was like that whole like time where like ECD started, like Noah and everyone just started coming to my house and just making songs in the closet and stuff. So I just make a beats. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be a producer. I'll just keep that producer. And then they weren't keeping up that one.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, like we're gonna get some songs out here, man. Like we got things to do. And I always try to like critique them on like how they're saying this. They're like, man, why don't you just write something? I'm like, all right, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Started writing, and then that's how I got to this point. And even like when I transitioned from like my house, because the electric bill was crazy, to go into the studio.
Yeah.
Like again, community, right? I think communities really like have to start off small.
Yeah.
In order for it to really grow. Cause me, I have no clients, no customers, nothing. So I'm like, yo, I don't know how I'm gonna get people in here, but like the Sean knew like 2 people. Sean was telling people like, like, oh yeah, come through, this is Frankfurt Day. He's got music equipment. People were like, yo, can you record there? I'm like, wait a minute.
Here we go.
You guys can record for free if you bring customers in.
Yeah.
Simple. So started small.
Yeah.
They bring like one person. People would be like, what? This kid can make a song. I can make a song too. More people be coming. And then like starting this whole wave of like, music in Manchester that you see today. So that's how that started out.
Those are some good times in the studio.
Yeah, the studio was
I wish it was still there. My new apartment's right there. I'm like, dude, I can walk to the studio and hang out with the guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I wanna have some sort of space where I can be creative again.
Yeah.
It's like permanent's not late. It's not the space.
No, I did the same. I built like a little workshop in my apartment, and I can't work there. It's like this is where I rest. I like to go somewhere.
No, you need like an office.
Yes.
Like somewhere someplace you wake up and go to do
Yep.
Creative work.
That act of ritual, like leaving your house,
exactly.
I think that's just as important towards the creative processes.
Yeah, I miss the studio. I used to just wake up, go there.
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't making music there, I'd sleep.
Yeah.
And then go home. Just go through that whole ritual process of waking up and going there.
Yeah.
Hopefully I get one. I think I might be getting one, not soon, but in time.
Yeah.
But it's something I definitely had to invest in again.
Totally.
That was great.
But yeah, having a place where you can meet up to.
I know that's why I'm bummed. Like Manchester doesn't really have that right now.
Yeah.
And I go back and forth between leaving, running away,
Yep.
and staying here and trying to fix it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that was literally the whole point. I mean, I'm not comparing myself to Kendrick Lamar, but I've been like listening to a lot of Kendrick lately. The whole point of Pimp a Butterfly was him leaving his city, learning how to live, and learning how to. Again, this is from my perspective.
Yeah.
Learning what to do to better his city, and he said he had to leave
In order for
and to pimp the butterfly to his advantage.
Exactly. Yeah.
To come back and improve what he was. So that's why I go back and forth and like maybe the best thing for me is to leave for a little while.
Yeah.
Learn these things and then come back and try to improve the problem.
Right.
But I don't know. And that's from my like
exploration, like just seeing how other people in different parts of like life, just in general, other parts of the world, just think how they go about certain things. Like it brings a lot that you can just take pieces from everyone you meet, and then like integrate it into yourself, and then
right.
Yeah, make things work for yourself.
So learn more from doing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Oh man, I have more questions for you too. Hold up a second. Let me think.
Dude, you're doing great. This has been great so far.
I know.
I feel like you and I don't really get to chop it up as much anymore. So it's like
I'm telling you, bro, I literally just work.
Yeah.
And do what I can. You know, it's like.
Yep, exactly.
And the thing, I'm not like a partier type. I'm not like a party type of guy. So it's like I can only do so much. Right. Like when it comes to that kind of stuff. But yeah. How's your people's been though?
Good. I can't complain. Like, I work the 9 to 5. I work construction.
Oh, that sounds smooth.
Yeah, it's all right. It pays the bills. And then,
exactly.
Oh man, I feel like I'm becoming like just a weekend warrior. You know what I mean?
It be like that. Like,
yeah.
I think that's another thing that keeps me going too. I'm so scared I'm gonna get stuck into like this life, and I'm not complaining because I'm doing better than a lot of people.
Right.
You know, like we're doing better than a lot of people. There's people seeking me outside, so I'm thankful all the time.
Oh, I always count on blessings.
But me, I want something more for myself and my family. So like, yeah, it's just I'm always gonna chase that, definitely. Cause like I don't know, in my head for some reason I can't just fathom being regular.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go to work, sleep, do it again tomorrow. Like I don't know, it just won't make me happy at the end of the day. So like I can't imagine.
This is a vein that I kind of want to go down. Actually, I feel like that's me too. Like I don't know why I feel like I can't just be happy like with what I have. Like I always feel like I need to be something great. And it's an immense amount of pressure to have.
Exactly.
It's mentally exhausting to try to convince other people that you're great all the time.
Yeah.
It's just not possible. It's just not possible. And I think that's where a lot of the pressure comes from, and like the reason, like you were talking about on the other episode, I think, how like putting too much pressure on yourself tends to create, less results.
Yeah, definitely. So like you gotta like balance it. That's the best way I can explain it. So it's like, yeah, put yourself in like a flow state when it comes to pressure. Like you have to. What book did I read this in? I think it was Way of the Superior Man or something.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the guy's name, the author's name.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up yourself. But he was saying like as a man, like you gotta push yourself to the edge, but just enough to where you can handle if you really want to grow.
Right.
But like staying stagnant, staying at the same like level of pressure, nothing's gonna change.
Right.
Going too far past, you're gonna overwhelm yourself. You're gonna
burn out.
Yeah. Exactly. So like, it's pushing yourself just enough. Trying that new thing every day. Trying that new business idea. Losing a little bit of money. Not too much to where you lose the house, but enough where you might have to pick up an extra shift. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta put yourself in these situations so that these lessons stick and that you can really get yourself to that next level. Especially if you don't want to stay at the level you're at. So that's the best way I can explain that. But like, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why people like our generation feels that so much though. Like why? Like because other generations, from my understanding,
Yeah.
were like happy with just having a family and like settling down, and other generations are a different thing. Like why is it? What is it that makes us like feel that way so deeply?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And it's always my creative friends too. Like it's not my like my analytical friends and stuff like the the numbers people.
Yeah.
Not as much. It's still, but like all my creative friends think like that, and I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you exactly.
No, I mean, I don't
Most of
think
the
I
people
could.
I surround myself, they think very similar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
People that would
Here's the
think
hard. Here's the hard.
that.
Do you think it's good or bad that you surround yourself with everyone who thinks similarly? Think about that for a second. Do you think it's good or bad? Because I don't know the answer to this question.
Well, so I can understand how it could be bad. I'm not like a close-minded person to where like I won't listen to someone who doesn't think like me because there's lessons in everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, everything's a balance. But I think just because I know I'm going in a certain direction, I surround myself with those people. You know what I'm saying?
Because you feel they have something to bring to the table, offer, and bring you up with them.
For example, like if I was questioning whether, like, do I really want this for myself? Because there's a lot of rest with like getting to that level of status
Sure.
in your life. You know what
Sure.
I'm saying? Like, for example, like all of a sudden you're a target, whether it's for like all these people who listen to you, or like whoever like consumes your art. And if it's not them, it's your own family. Like, hey, you have all this extra abundance.
Right.
Why aren't you giving us? You know.
Right.
You're always gonna, once you become that certain level of, I guess, animal predator, whatever.
Right.
Like everyone's looking to get a piece of like what you have too. And it's not like it's a bad thing. It's just you gotta understand it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing to surround yourself with other people, but because I know what path I want to take, I know what people I want around.
There's like you can almost see when they're doing something that is negatively impacting you. You're like, all right, I know to stay away from that.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's like, hey, I understand, you know, we're not on the same path in life, you know, so it's like, do you, but like, it's not for me, you know?
Right.
Like me, I don't like going to the club and stuff.
Right.
It's just not for me. I'll go every once in a while. It's just not for me, though. Like, I get nothing out of it. I don't even, yeah, I get nothing out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, I was like, I think, I don't know where it's come from. I think being raised, my dad always kind of championed when I would ask questions about something, because he always talked about, he would always talk about how much he loved his philosophy class and how it taught him how to think and not what to think.
Yeah.
And so I think I always just ask questions, and I love learning things about other people and like what makes them tick.
Yeah.
So I don't know necessarily where it's going with that. I'm just kind of talking like an asshole. But I was like sitting on the couch the other night, and I feel like the struggle to create is a battle with my vices.
Definitely.
So like, I'm sitting on the couch the other night, like just smoked a bowl, high as fuck. I'm eating junk food,
Yeah.
scrolling Instagram, watching a movie, all of that at the same time. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm watching this video, and you guys probably know this. Like, there's this girl who goes on dates with like a ton of dudes in New York City. She's like, oh my god, here's the first date with Sailor Man, and right. So it's like crazy. And I'm sitting there, right? And I'm like high as fuck, looking at this, going, man, she's the worst. Like, she's terrible. And like these negative things are going,
Yeah.
she's the worst. She's terrible. She's awful. And I'm like, holy shit. The way that I'm getting my fix, is
Yo, bro, I needed this.
like what the fuck? But the thing is, like,
Yo, that's
if
crazy.
you don't, if you the vices, your vice is what's taking you away from getting your fix from creativity.
Exactly.
And all of that is just, you should read have you read the war of, uh, the War of Art?
The War of Art.
Yeah, no, that's a good book. Basically he talks about, like, he calls it resistance. So like anything that is pulling you away from doing the work of the thing that you love is resistance. And so that's where I was looking at this post, and I'm like, holy shit, like I am feeling better about myself because I'm like, well, at least I'm not as bad as this chick. And no, like really think about that. Like I'm not like
Take notes.
I'm not.
It's-
It's like a reverse like way of feeling better about yourself. It's not
Yeah.
you're not. It's a fake. It's like mental masturbation. You're not actually
I
feeling better about
completely
yourself,
understand.
but you're sitting here getting the same dopamine hit that you would if you went out and did something productive that actually put you towards a goal.
You know what? And this is a small example. So like me, like I'll eat like chips or candy if I'm really hungry.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to ignore the fact that I'm hungry. I'll just eat chips or candy,
Yes.
junk food. As soon as I eat, I have no problem. I don't even want that stuff.
Right.
Because I'm not.
Yes.
Something.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
like it's
Yes.
just a small example, but I completely understand what you're talking
You're like,
about.
what was the point? Like, I could have took the extra time and made something healthy for myself, and maybe I would have had more energy to go out and make another song.
Exactly. Because when you're actually doing it, you don't feel tired. Like
No.
nothing's like
No.
you're like in bliss almost in a way. Like, yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how to explain that.
No, so that has been the recent struggle, is battling with my vices, because the things that I do to calm my nerves or come down from a feeling
Yeah.
is the thing that's keeping me from doing what I need to do.
So did it give you a way to
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah. So what I did was, like, when I'll get home from work, I'll have the overwhelming urge to sit down and watch TV or do something else. And I'm not saying you can't do that. Like, you can totally do that. But instead of that, I just like turned everything off, and like instead of doing that, I made myself a meal, ate it, and then just sat down. And I sat with the feelings that I had, the emotions that I felt. And I was like, okay, if I could just sit through this and resist the urge to go to my vices, like smoke a bowl, fucking drink a beer, whatever. If I can resist that urge, maybe I can learn why it is in the first place that I'm trying to escape this feeling. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
Because personally, I feel like the things that we try to avoid the most are the things that we need to embrace.
It's the facts.
I mean, and really, like if I'm scared of something, I need to figure out what I'm scared of and use that to my advantage. If I am feeling overwhelmed by something, I need to try to how can I figure out what I'm overwhelmed about? Because there's a million things that it could be, but unless you sit there and resist the urge to escape it, it's the only way through.
Yeah, that's crazy you say that because I haven't sat with myself in a good.
No one had. No, like that's the thing. No one had, because why would you do? I have this. I have this right here. I got fucking sex. I got porn. I got fucking Instagram. I got it. I literally can do everything here and get all my kicks from this. And like that realization was super fucking scary the other night on the couch. Like
you just gave yourself enough to hurt yourself. Like it's crazy.
And the other thing too, I just turned 25. Holy shit, I'm old.
That's crazy.
Shut up,
Yo, I'm about to turn 25 too.
I turned 25, and when I was like 21, I was thinking, like growing up. If you're 25, you know that the time between 18 and 25 is fucking so much growth is happening.
It's crazy.
Every year you're growing.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Fuck, I don't remember where I was going with that. What were we saying before that?
We were talking about your phone and like.
Oh, okay, yes, I remember.
Yeah.
So I always thought, like, I would fall urge to my vices, fall urge to my addictions, and I was always like, well, one day it's either gonna hurt so bad that I'm gonna wake up and all of a sudden be disciplined, way better off, and just have this shit figured out.
Yeah.
I always thought that. I was like, it's gonna come to a point.
I'm just gonna rock bottom.
I'm either gonna hit a rock bottom or I'm gonna have some crazy epiphany that snaps me out of it, and now I'm good. Like, that's what I thought. And then when I hit 25, I said, my big epiphany was that I'm not gonna have a big epiphany. I was like, fuck, I need to pull myself out of this.
You gotta make it work yourself. Oh man,
if I don't pull myself out of it, who's gonna?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, and you remember for a while, if I'm talking too much, you just stop me.
Bro, you're good. Real quick, let me just check to make sure it's actually recording. Oh yeah, it's good.
Good, still good?
All right, 50. You know?
How long are we?
50 minutes.
Damn, we were chatting for 50 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these things, like, it feels like...
It feels good.
Yeah,
we're chilling.
But yeah, these things are cool. I like these. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then AI's just gonna give me, like...
Yeah, chop it all up.
30 clips of it just to post. And it schedules it. Like, I can schedule it. Everything is beautiful. But yeah, it's fantastic.
As an artist, I'm saying, I kind of fuck with AI. Use it to your advantage.
And I'm not saying you have to make it do the creative work for you, but there's roles you need to fill in, like your little systems and things. AIs can do the busy work you don't want to do. That makes it gives you more free time to do actual creative stuff. So.
However, these youngins gotta learn to put in the work. All right, you gotta learn how to do it. Learn how to cut it up and chop it up first.
Yeah, exactly. So that you know what you're
doing.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll give it that. Not to a certain extent. Come on, put some work into it. You can't expect.
Yeah, I'll have to color grade and edit the audio a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, you're doing.
Otherwise, it'll just be chopping a bad video.
Right.
It's not the
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, love AI.
Yeah, it's I fuck with it.
Sheesh. I don't even remember what we were talking about before.
No, we were just talking about shit. Just shit, I love chopping it up with this.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was gonna talk about
I don't know, dude. You just gotta get out of your own head once in a while and just do, and that's almost impossible. It feels like.
Yeah, definitely. But you think sitting with yourself, bro? I haven't meditated nothing in a while.
If anyone watching would come away with one thing, I would urge you to be okay, tonight I'm not gonna fucking do X, Y, and Z that I usually do. I'm just gonna sit with myself. Silence. And don't be kind to yourself. Don't sit there and be why can't I fucking ever just sit with myself? Why can't I do? No,
it doesn't help.
Be kind.
It's all you'd be surprised how weak your mental is. Speaking to yourself, your mental's like a little kid,
Right. Yes.
It's only doing the best it knows how to. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta treat it with the respect it deserves. You know what I'm saying?
That is exactly why I had that thought of when I was a kid. What made me feel creative and empowered? Because all I'm doing right now, this ego, the reason I create these things is to protect that little kid inside me that had those ideas. So if I can tap into him and what he was passionate about, I feel like that could be where the answer lies.
Yeah. No, it's where most of the good things come out of me.
Because kids don't have bad intentions.
Exactly.
They want the fucking world. They want to explore and they want to create.
Exactly.
And so if you can tap into that, you're never gonna have a bad intention. You're not gonna have a bad reason to create.
And subconsciously, everyone who consumes your art is gonna feel the same.
Yes.
Also
dude, full circle moment right there.
Full circle. Tough.
Because that's what we're talking about.
Come
on. What the fuck? That's what I love chopping it up with like-minded people because I learned something. And I like chopping up with people unlike-minded.
Telling you, I've been solving so many small issues. That's probably why I've been doing this. I've been solving
there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you should be doing. You're doing something to try to figure something out.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that.
Nothing at all. Shit is.
And you know, it's okay to not know. It's okay to not know.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, sit with yourself.
Sit with yourself.
Your body is so intelligent, like it's trying to tell you something's wrong, right?
Yes.
Don't try to ignore it by putting a band-aid over it, watching whatever they'll do to give you a fix, eating junk food, candy, whatever, give you a fix, right? Even down to like, oh, I'm having bad dreams. Bro, you need to sit with yourself and really look at what the root of the problem is, alright?
Yeah.
But yeah, nah,
That's a good.
that's gonna help me a lot. This whole rest of the year, probably into the next year, sitting with myself, I need to do that a lot.
Yeah.
These coming days.
And you're not gonna solve the world's problems in a day.
No.
So don't think that you are.
Don't overstress it.
Yeah.
Solve what you can.
Yeah.
Do what you can.
Yeah.
Explore a little to see what you're missing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Like it.
I don't know if you have anything else.
Dude, no, that's great. I mean, if you ever need any photo, video needs, hit me up, please. If you're a real estate agent, want to show your house, anything like that, commercial, creative, well, I think I got to get back into music videos. You want to shoot a music video, hit me up.
Yo, we gotta do something.
You know, we're doing something.
So,
Luke, thank you for letting me into your house here, Desmond. It's always a pleasure.
Alright.
Dude,
Yo.
let's go.